Okay, we are looking at the Krauth house, which was the home of Dr. Charles Philip Krauth, who was born in 1797 and died in 1867. The house itself was built in 1834, and it sat up here on the Lutheran Theological Seminary campus area. Of course, this house was the center of the Union line for a brief time on July 1st, 1863, in the morning, and then later in the afternoon, as the Federals retreated into the town, it became near the center of the Confederate line on the same day. So this house has a distinct honor of being both center of the Union and Confederate lines on July 1st, 1863. Of course, after the Battle of Gettysburg, and during the Battle of Gettysburg, actually, it was used as a field hospital. Um, in a letter on July 9th, 1863, Dr. Krauth wrote to his Aunt Jane about how the house had sustained minimal damage and that the citizens of town were happy in the recent victory here at Gettysburg. One of the things that he did mention, however, was that he had a silver tea servicer that was stolen apparently by Confederate troops on July 1st, 1863. And one of the lesser known facts about this house was there was a soldier named Alexander Alcorn who was a member of Cooper's battery, and he was wounded on July 1st, 1863, and his brother brought him here inside of this house where he later died. And then he was buried on the property. His brother was captured by Confederates, of course, and he was sent down Route 30, the Chambersburg Pike, on his way to prison camp. A few days later, he was paroled, and he was on his way to Harrisburg, and he escaped his parole somewhere in the Bendersville area of Pennsylvania, and he returned back. He actually wired his father, and him and his father met here in Gettysburg, and their objective was to get the body of his brother, Alexander Alcorn, and disinter it from where he had begun to bury it when he was captured by Confederates, and then bury it in Evergreen Cemetery, which he had purchased a plot for $2.50 for. However, when they returned here to the Krauth property, they could not find the battery. However, as they looked upon this stone wall here, and this stone wall was built on July 4th, 1863 by Rhodes troops as a defensive wall. And it's also very famous for having down there near where the sign is at on the right side, it's near the spot where the famous photograph of the 3 Confederate prisoners was taken. And we did a video earlier on the 3 Confederate prisoners spot where the photo was taken. But somewhere along this wall here, Alcorn's brother actually found pieces of the headboard that he had made for his brother as he was beginning to dig his grave, and wasn't finished it because he was captured by Confederates. And then he realized that the Confederates built the earthworks over the grave of his brother on July 4th, 1863, when they constructed this wall. So, of course, his remains by then were badly decomposed, though found, and instead of returning his body back to his hometown, it was then decided to bury him here in Evergreen Cemetery, and of course that's when the plot was purchased for $2.50. And he was probably one of the soldiers that was buried by Elizabeth Thorne and her father preceding the battle. So this is a little bit of the history on the Dr. Charles Philip Krauth house here on Gettysburg Battlefield Facebook.